Hi Sandy, how are you doing today?
Alright, I guess, but as usual, feeling kind of down.
In the last few sessions, we went over you starting to become aware of your negative automatic thoughts and identifying the distortions. Also, coming up with some rational responses to those thoughts. Now, were you able to work on that again this week?
I was. Yeah, I'll be honest, it wasn't very easy for me. Especially in the beginning, it was kind of difficult, but somehow I managed to get it done.
I'm really glad to hear that you were able to do it. Great job, Sandy. Now, you mentioned in the beginning you had a difficult time. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
It was interesting in the beginning when I was logging down my thoughts, like you asked me to. I was able to identify the automatic thoughts, but I guess I just had such strong emotions attached to them and believed them too, so it was kind of difficult, and it took a little bit more effort to identify which distortion I was using and for me to come up with a rational response that I believed. Towards the end, though, of the week, it was easier for me to come up with a rational response, and I feel like I wasn't making myself feel so bad.
Great. Okay, so if you take out your chart from this past week, what was one of the thoughts that you logged down on your chart?
Okay, I'll get it out. I wrote, I have so much to get done. It is impossible. I will never be able to accomplish anything. There's just so much.
Okay, good job. Now, what distortion did you attach to this automatic thought?
I put overgeneralization.
Great, Sandy. That, in fact, is an overgeneralization. Now, would you mind sharing with me the rational response that you put?
Sure. I put that I can finish the things I must get done. If they don't all get completed today, at least there's one more thing that I have off the checklist, and getting something done is better than getting nothing done at all.
That's great. I think you're starting to understand the distortions in your thinking pattern. That's really, really important if we're going to try to work on changing the way you think and the way you talk to yourself. Do you feel like this method of charting your automatic thoughts has made you more aware of how these thoughts are distorted when you begin to think them?
I mean, I think I understand how these extremely negative and judgmental self-talk is a huge factor in my depressed mood, but I'm not sure how to get started still with all these things that I have to get done. I mean, there's just so much to do. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to begin.
That's completely understandable. It's not always easy to implement changes, even when we want to. But I do have an idea. Are you willing to work on a different exercise this week?
Sure, I guess, if you think it'll help.
Okay. Well, why don't we start by thinking about what it is you do instead of the things you feel like you should be doing?
Well, I don't do anything. I just can't seem to get my butt out of the bed.
Okay. Well, let's think of you lying in bed as something that you are doing instead of something you're not doing. Okay? And then I want you to brainstorm the possible advantages and disadvantages to staying in bed. List them in a similar way that you did your automatic thoughts, only in 2 columns this time.
Sure, I guess, I mean, I don't think it's gonna do anything, but okay.
Well, that's fair. If you're willing to try it, I'd like you to take an attempt, and then next week bring it in, and we can talk about how it might be helpful.
Okay, sure, whatever, I'll give it a shot.
Great. So next week?
Next week.
Okay. See you then.
See you then.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Alright, I guess. Same as last week.
Okay. Well, how was your week?
It was alright, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really accomplish anything. Sat in bed.
Okay, well, I know we talked about doing the list of advantages and disadvantages. Were you able to work on that?
The chart that you gave me, yeah. I was able to do that.
Great. Well, I'm really glad that you were able to work on that because that's going to be key in helping you change the way that you view your day and the different things that you have to get done. So why don't we take a look at your chart?
Okay, I'll get that out.
Great. Now I want you to look at each column that you wrote
Uh-huh.
and first look at the advantages to lying in bed and then at the disadvantages.
Okay.
Just take a moment to review what you wrote, okay?
Okay. Wow, well, it seems that I have a lot of options that I never realized I had before. I noticed that staying in bed can be rewarding at times and have its benefits, but I can choose to do other things that may make me feel better and have larger rewards and even better benefits. I never saw that.
Great. Well, you did a really good job. I just want to point out that you did mention you didn't accomplish anything this week, and you filling out this chart is an accomplishment, so I would like to point that out and give you credit for that. And then also, this is exactly what I wanted you to see with this chart. If you chart things out like this and you list the advantages and disadvantages, it can help you to free yourself from the shoulds. I should be doing this, I ought to do this, I must do this. And it can help you view things in more of a choice
Interesting.
way. I have the choice to do this. I have the option to do this. As opposed to feeling like you're obligated. And so that's going to be a really big factor when it comes to overcoming the paralyzing self-talk that you've been giving yourself.
Yeah, I do have a lot of options that I didn't notice that I had before.
So I think this is really going to be beneficial. Do you want to try it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we can even go one step further and you can try to maybe pick one of the things that you feel has more benefits off of the
Okay.
list, and you can try to maybe start doing one of those tasks.
Okay, I could do that.
Only if you want to, if that's something that you want to do.
I'll try to do it. I want to do it.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
So the next week we will meet again and we will talk about what you have written down and see if you've come any closer to possibly getting something checked off your list.
Okay, sounds good.
Good. Okay, then I'll see you next week.